Welcome to this episode of Real Talk. My name is Christy Ivy. I am the founder and president of Christy's Cause, a nonprofit in Southwest Florida working to eradicate child sex trafficking and exploitation. On March 23rd, the FBI issued a warning as a result of COVID-19 that due to a newly developing environment, parents and children should be aware of the dangers of online child sexual exploitation. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has experienced over a 90% increase in CyberTipline reports related to sexual exploitation of children between January and June of this year versus the same time period last year. Today, it is vital we secure our children's electronic devices and establish clear and safe boundaries for them. I've run across many parents who feel overwhelmed and paralyzed when it comes to their children and electronic devices. Most people don't realize how many security options are available to protect their children. Today, we will be discussing how parents can secure their child's Android device with Sergeant Wade Williams of the Collier County Sheriff's Office Special Crimes Bureau Exploitation Section. He is responsible for managing Collier County's Internet Crimes Against Children Federal Task Force, the Missing Persons Unit, the Internet Exploitation Unit, and the Human Trafficking Unit. He is a member of the Child Abduction Response Team and on the Human Trafficking Task Force for the Middle District of Florida. His dedication and hard work have resulted in the arrest and prosecution of numerous sex predators. We are excited to have Sergeant Williams with us today to share how we can be more proactive in securing our children's devices. Thank you for joining us, Sergeant Williams.
Thank you for having me.
Why are you so passionate about educating parents on securing their child's electronic device?
That's a great question, Christy. You know, most parents don't realize there's this whole world out there of child predators and dangers online that are occurring because, as many parents experience, their children are far more advanced technologically with their devices than the parents are, and that's a generational gap issue, right? You know, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is the primary receiving agency for cyber tips, and cyber tips are the primary way that exploitation of children online gets reported. So in 2019, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received 16.9 million cyber tips regarding the exploitation of children online. Of those, 69.1 million image and video files depicting sexual exploitation of children were reported in those cyber tips. At the Collier County Sheriff's Office in the same year, we worked hundreds of these cyber tips and these reports that resulted in numerous arrests of online predators for exploiting children both here and nationally. Sadly, we know that this figure is just the tip of the iceberg and that many cases go unreported, and children are afraid to disclose for a variety of reasons, or nobody becomes aware of the exploitation that's happening. Most of our child victims are exploited through, a device that was provided by their parents or their guardian that's paid for by them, and it occurs in the safety of their own bedroom and the safety and security of their own home. There's really no other crime in which you can think of that happens like that and happens on such a large basis. Many times the parents are in the next room and are completely unaware that there's a child predator exploiting their children right next to them. So it's very important that we inform parents of this danger online and what the facts are and what we're seeing locally and what's actually happening, and that we arm them with information and educate them so they can take action. And we're passionate about doing that for protection of victims and prevention of crime.
So what are some good rules that you suggest around electronic devices for children?
Okay, so one of the worst things that a parent can do is to give a child an electronic device with no restrictions. That provides the child access to the entire world unfiltered, and the entire world access to their child unfiltered. And I say that because we have cases of children being exploited by people in European countries and all over the world. Wow. and they're being exploited here, and that happens in real time. So it's very important that they set up some kind of parental protections. There's Screen Time for iPhones, and there's Family Link for Android, which we're going to talk about in this video. And there's also apps that parents can download. Many of them are free, which provide a more deep kind of coverage for them to monitor their devices. At least once a week, parents should check their child's device. Okay, that means reading their messages, if they allow them to have apps which allow them to communicate direct with people online, which they may not want to do, but that's up to the parent. They should be reading those messages with the understanding the child can delete them before they see them. And that they monitor their child's device regularly. So checking their browser history and all those sort of things, and understand that and inform their child that a device is a privilege, not a right. Okay, it's important that they don't allow their child to have any electronics in their bedroom with the door closed or a bathroom with the door closed. The reason for this is that the primary location and the vast majority of these 69 million images and video files of the ones that are self-produced, where the child's being groomed or manipulated by a predator online and being asked to, and manipulated to produce content, occur in a bedroom or a bathroom. And even some of these videos, we can even hear the parent yelling to the child, "Why are you taking so long in the bathroom?" And the child will say something like, "Oh, I'm just brushing my teeth," or something like that, but they're not. We know from the video they're producing this content. And most importantly, talk to your child about the dangers online and these tactics of online predators, of grooming, and how they set these things up. Because the first time they hear these things should not be from an online predator. They should be from the parent, so that they know what to do in a situation like that and they don't feel like they're going to be judged or scared. And some of the tactics that these predators will use is to allow them to violate rules, so that the child feels like if they tell on the predator, that they'll be telling on themselves because they themselves violated a rule. So there's really clever tactics that they use, but it's important that parents inform their kids of this so they know what to do.
Okay, so I know that's a lot of heavy information, especially just for somebody that hasn't heard any of these statistics before from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I think the point is that you just get a game plan for moving forward. Get a game plan of how you're going to move forward with your securing your child's device. So, Sergeant Williams, would you walk us through how to set up parental controls on an Android?
All Android devices have an innate feature built in called Family Link, and this requires a parent to set it up and download an app. I'm going to walk you through what those steps are to do that. First, what you need to do is make sure that you're using the current version operating system for the Android device. Androids are different than iPhones, and they're not as aggressive with their updates on how they've iPhone sort of forces you to accept the update and take the update and update your phone, whereas Android, there's a lot more users that are out of date. So it's important that you update to the current version.
Okay, so what is the next step to find your child's device, and how do we set that up?
How you set up Family Link on a smartphone is start by downloading the Family Link app onto your own device. If your child already has an account, Family Link will walk you through linking you and your child's account. As part of that process, your child may also need to download the Family Link Child Teen app on their phone to complete the process of linking the accounts. If your child does not already have a Google account or Gmail, you can also create a Google account for your child so that you can use Family Link, and this is actually required. And you want that account to be a different account than your parent account. You can visit accounts.google.com/signup to create a new account. You can also use Family Link to create a Google account for any child under 13. And I do recommend that you even set the age to under 13, because Google actually allows the child to take control of their own device once they turn age 13. So if you want to have that level of control, you need to put a different birth date for the child for that account. Once complete, children can sign into their device with the new account. Once the accounts are linked, use Family Link to set digital ground rules for your child and family.
So how do you block an app?
To block or unblock an app on the Family Link app, first open the Family Link app. Select your child. Find the app's installed card. Tap More. Tap the name of the app you want to allow or block. Turn Allow App on or off. If we're on the Family Link on the web, then go to Family Link on the web, select your child, Select Android apps. Turn the app on or off.
How do you require approval to download apps on Google Play?
In order to require approval for new apps on Google Play, you need to, on your device, open the Play Store app. Tap Menu, tap Account, go to Family, tap on Manage Family Members. Tap a family member's name, tap Purchase Approvals, and then select All Content. If you're using the Family Link app, open the Family Link app, tap Manage Settings, tap Controls on Google Play, tap Require Approval for, and then select All Content.
How do you prevent downloading of mature apps?
So you can set up parental controls to restrict the content your child can download or purchase from Google Play. To do this, open the Family Link app, select your child, find the Settings card, tap Manage, tap Controls on Google Play. Under Content Restrictions, choose your filters. There's a lot of different filters for apps, games, movies. Choose the highest maturity level of the content you want to allow for download or purchase. Under Music and Books, choose whether you want to restrict downloads or purchases of explicit content. You can also manage this setting by clicking on your child's name at families.google.com.
How can you choose permission for a certain app as well as multiple apps?
If your child uses multiple devices, repeat these steps to choose their permissions for each device. And the steps are to open the Family Link app, select your child, find the Apps Installed card, tap More, find the Allowed list, tap the app that you want to change your child's permissions for. Tap App Permissions, and then switch the permissions on or off.
How do you prevent your child from changing app permission?
To prevent your child from changing their own app permissions, open the Family Link app, select your child, find the device card, tap View Settings, tap App Permissions, then select a permission. Next, select Only Parents or your child and parents, depending on what you want. If you select Only Parents, your child won't be able to give that permission for any new or existing app. However, it doesn't change permissions that have already been granted. And again, you can manage this setting by clicking on your child's name at families.google.com from the web.
How can you restrict mature or inappropriate content?
You can restrict your child's access to sexually explicit content or violent websites and sexually explicit search results from Google Search. To do this, open the Family Link app, tap on Manage Settings, then tap Filters on Google Chrome. Select Try to Block Mature Sites. Go back to the Parent Settings menu, then tap Filters on Google Search. Select Safe Search. It's important to note that this feature will only work on the Google Chrome browser that came already installed on your child's device from the factory. If you allow your child to download or install other browsers such as Firefox and many others, they will still be able to access inappropriate content unless you restrict those particular browsers through some other means.
How do you see your child's app activity?
You can see how much time your child has spent using apps on their Android devices or Chromebooks. Time is tracked when the app is open and shown on the screen, but not when the app is working in the background. To do this, open the Family Link app. Select your child, find the App Activity card. Next, tap Set Up. After you turn on App Activity, you'll see your child's app activity in a few hours.
How can you manage your child's screen time?
When you set a limit for your child's screen time on their Android device or Chromebook, they'll get a notification when screen time is set for the first time or their device is about to be locked. When the device is locked, your child can't see notifications, can't unblock the device or use any apps. They can answer phone calls and tap Emergency to make a call if the device has a calling plan. To do this, open the Family Link app, select your child, find the Daily Limit card, tap Set Up or Edit Limits. Follow the instructions on the screen to set daily limits. It's important to note that daily limits apply to each Android device or Chromebook your child uses. For example, if you set a daily limit of 2 hours, Your child would get 2 hours of time on each device for a total of 4 hours. You can also stop the internet on your child's device at any time.
How do you set time limits for an individual app?
If your child's Android device is running Android, Nougat, or newer, you can set a time limit on apps to manage how much time your child can spend on a specific app each day. To do this, open the Family Link app. Select your child. On the Today's Activity card, tap Set Limits. Next to your desired app, tap Set Limit. Set a daily time limit for the app and tap Set. Time limits will apply to apps installed on all your child's devices. System apps aren't supported by the app limit functionality. Limits can only be set for Android N+ devices.
Okay, so how do we set a bedtime on your child's Android device?
To set a bedtime or downtime for your child's device, open the Family Link app. Select your child. Find the bedtime card. Tap Edit Schedule. Follow the instructions on the screen to set a bedtime.
All right, so how do we lock or unlock a child's device?
To do that, you're going to have to open the Family Link app, select your child. On the card for one of your child's Android devices, tap Lock Now or Unlock. You can also use a parent access code to unlock your child's Android device if it isn't connected to the internet.
Okay, so how do we locate our child's Android device?
To locate your child's Android device, open the Family Link app, select your child, find the location card, tap Set Up. Turn on the settings required to see your child's location. Tap Turn On. It may take up to 30 minutes to see your child's location.
The last step I think we're going to share in this video is how do we change our child's location settings?
To adjust your child's location settings, open the Family Link app, select your child, tap Manage Settings, tap Location, turn See Your Child's Location on or off.
Okay, so Sergeant Williams, is there any additional information you would like to share with parents today?
Sure. Many parents they find something on their child's device that they think might be inappropriate or they think may be a crime, are not sure what to do at that point. So the first thing that they need to do is to take the child's device, physically take it from them. There are cases where parents have left the device with the child because they're in shock about what they found or they want to discuss it with their significant other. And then they return, 30 minutes, an hour later, only to find that the child's then deleted all the evidence and many other things that they didn't even know were happening yet because they only found the tip of the iceberg. So it's important to take the device directly from them and then decide what course of action to take next. If they think it's a crime, they need to report it to law enforcement. Evidence online is very time sensitive, can be lost very easily, so it's important that we preserve evidence online. We have authority under federal law to do that, but we have to act quickly, so they need to report immediately and not wait. And make sure that they don't allow their child during that time to have any access to any internet-connected device at all, say the family iPad or the family computer, because many of these apps, the child can log in from another device using their username and passcode, and then they can delete the evidence from there, and it won't be recoverable.
Okay, this is great information, and I know it's so important because as you opened up the video, you said that oftentimes our children are much more knowledgeable about technology than we are. So I think you shared some excellent points that for parents to really be educated and inform themselves. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Please take advantage of the additional resources provided in the description of this video, and thanks for joining us on this episode of Real Talk.